All right, back in the mix. Thank you for being patient with us here. Yeah, just stream decided to stop working, and then came back right. All my stuff was came right back on, but I guess YouTube couldn't hold it together for more than 8 seconds, so it killed the stream, and then here we are, back in action. It was actually not something I did this time, if you can believe that. I'm just waiting for the wasps to come up out of this high ass grass. Like, you're not gonna convince me ain't no wasps out here. Yeah, but there are fire breathing lizards. Haha, level them up, baby. Level them right on up. At some point I gotta start actually leveling this character up and not just getting the little minor bonuses that come to health and hearth, as it were. Snappers. Oh, scavengers. Even better. Got him. That's what I want. Got him. Young chump, you can choke off the web I spun, and I done cleared them out with the thread I brung, and you done heard about what said I'm from, my brother. Word of mouth, little rule of thumb. Y'all better bow down, hear the ruler come. He's a legend in the hood, not a hood alum. Army of one, baby. Give it up. See, I think this is the game that made me basically say to all the other role-playing games that force you to play with parties. Like, if it's easier just to give all the abilities to one guy and let me control them with separate button presses like they are here, yeah, that, versus making me micromanage 17 people in a menu tediously. You know, or with commands on screen, like, Jacob, hit that guy. Like, Jacob should be trained in how to fight. Why am I having to tell him what to do? Get your ass out there and fight, ho. Mass Effect is what I'm talking about, in case you didn't get the Jacob reference. Oh, my word. What's this guy? What's this handsome gentleman getting into? Who probably looks like the 4 other face models they used for this game, or one of the 4 other face models for the game. Where you running to, ho?
Hey, what's happening? Ah, the beasts! The beasts!
What beast, ho? You talking about that big black one that we gotta go kill right quick? Come on with me. Do it together. Big old black, like, mountain lion type thing running around up here somewhere, if memory serves me right. And we're about to get to Jabbo's crib. Right? Isn't that? Or no. I think that was the hut in the beginning of the game. Woo! I could have bit it right there. I thought I had him dead to rights. And he turned that Igor on you. It's like, oh, easy, baby. Easy. Yeah, you're not going to be needing that gold, homie. Let me get that about you. Let me get that about you. Get out. Run, ho. It gets too real back here. Piss off. Turbo says, sorry. Took me a bit. I guess others haven't joined yet. Nah, you're good. The silly stream crashed. It was finally not my fault for once. But we're back. No worries. Lisa says, and we're back. And Ryan spells yay wrong. Oh, snap. That was the leaf the whole time? That little optical illusion made me think there was a monstra up here to deal with. The dragon orchid. Gotcha. That's what I needed right there. You always have to go to your super move every damn time? You really don't make it plausible for me to strike at all when you do that. Punk ass bitch. That our ogre leaf? That is jungle weed. More jungle weed. Weed from the jungle. Pretty sure there's some fisticuffs that go down at this little creek, right? Huh, maybe not. Let's get to it. What up, Jabbo? Holla at you, boy.
There comes another one. Oh, where am I to hide?
Here, a bundle full of vegetable seeds.
Oh, good, good, good. I have gold, but you need to wait a while. Wait!
Wait, what for?
I swallowed it because of the thieves. It won't take long and you'll get your gold.
You keep
No,
it going.
no. Just keep it.
Oh, you're one of those philanthropists, eh? I've got something special for you then. Here.
You didn't
Thank
eat
you.
that too, did you?
Where did you hide this?
In.
Wait, rather not know.
In? Good job, writers.
What is it?
I got myself a watchdog recently for my vegetables.
Oh, yes, this is the damn big frickin' mountain lion dog wolf.
A watchdog? Here?
Yeah, I lured him out of a cave. He doesn't let anyone near my hut, me included, unfortunately.
Well then, I guess I can get rid of the dog for you.
Great! I'll take care of your reward.
Where's the herb?
Near my hut. Just a little...
I'll be right back.
See, Clem was watching a video about the Wildcats comic. Word. Alright, Jabbo. Blew up your dog. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. That. Sniffing out the weed. Sniffing out the jungle weed. Sniffing out the weed. Love how I'm running just in the middle of nowhere. Look at my shadow. It's just nowhere. Look at that. What in the hell is he running on if his shadow is here, but the thing he's running on is not? Just. And where is the actual sun, by the way, that's casting this ridiculous shadow? Ah, rune shards. Well done, young man. Well done.
And? Did you teach your dog a lesson?
Oh, and Clem, you asked me a question about Dungeons and Dragons on the last stream, but I didn't understand the question, and then the stream died before I could tell you that I didn't understand your question. Can you rephrase it for me, or reframe the question with... I guess I was trying to figure out what your actual question was, but if it was, should you tell backstory? I'm like, backstory to what? I don't even know the context or the subtext of what we're talking about.
What bloody dog? That thing was a shadow beast.
Oh, is that what they're called? So, can I return to my hut?
The creature's dead, but it's a miracle it didn't eat you.
Nah, I don't taste that good. A huge lizard gobbled me up once. God, that thing can puke.
Oh, that I can believe. And my reward?
Yes, of course. Here.
Potent healing potion. Hell yeah! It's worth way more than whatever gold he was going to give us. The Lord of the Dragonborn goes against what my character stands for. Okay. I will wait for the rest of that sentence to come on through. And show us all the way home. I was going to say, how's that not lighting up? Come on, bro. Make sure we got everything that need to be did. So you're thinking about making like short web comics and see if people might like it. Okay. You've told maybe 2 people the story and they loved it. Okay. So I'm thinking about making like a short web comic and see if people might like it. But if they don't know about Dungeons and Dragons, they are not going to know the backstory as to why my character makes no sense. So I was thinking like some graphic novels, like a short 1 or 2 page graphic story. Possibly, who are you trying to tell this story to, right? Like, is a 1 to 2 page backstory something that the audience for this webcomic would be willing to read? and like would actually be, you know, not willing to read, not just willing to read, but willing to read in concert with, you know, enjoying the webcomic. I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of you telling stories. Who you telling them to? Why? Is the pregunta. Who you going to tell them to? Why? That going to determine. Hey, give me that hay fork. Hey, statue of Enos, I see you. I know you are not slick. Explain my question. You don't understand which part. All right, you're telling this story to the nerds. Which nerds? Be more specific. Hold up, is that a... No, it is not. I was like, is that a fast travel joint? But if I do it, I have to practice comic panels. I hate doing them, okay? You don't understand what I'm asking. I'm asking who is the target audience for this. Now that I know you're making a comic with a 1 to 2 page backstory, who are you making the comic for is all I'm asking. Like, when you had the vision of writing this thing, who do you envision is going to be reading it and enjoying it? I mean, obviously you're not making it for me because I don't read webcomics, right? So who might this be for specifically? And you said the comic and D. Okay, so a combination of comic nerds and D&D nerds, any particular type of comic. I imagine comic nerd, and I'm speaking in ignorance here, so please tell me I'm a crazy ass if I'm wrong. I imagine there are different types of comic nerds, right? So when you're trying to etch out, like, I want to make something for somebody, when you're trying to plan out how you're going to do it, the who is probably the second most important question you're going to ask. I'm asking it first because that's going to shape a lot of the other stuff. But if you can nail the who that you're making the content for, you can make the content more suited to that type of person. Right? Does that make the question make more sense? And you said there are different types of comic nerds. Yes, I am correct. Okay. So I would say be more specific. Which type of comic nerds are you looking for? And I imagine D&D nerds are... I imagine D&D nerds are somewhat diverse as well. So the more specific you can be about who's going to be watching your stuff, the easier time... Well, first of all, the more fun you're going to have making it, because you're going to make something with this group of people, which should include yourself, by the way, in mind, right? So you guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to make you enjoy the process, but it's also going to make it such that the way you write it, the way that you script it, the way that you map it out, it's going to resonate very heavily with that type of person. What most people try to do when they want to create anything, and I don't care if it's a piece of art or advertisements that I've had to run for executives of companies where I've had to tell them that their idea sucks. And they're like, well, I want it to go to the widest audience possible. I'm like, there is no such thing. The widest audience possible is nobody. Because nobody is everybody. Right? So who do we want this to go to and what do you want them to do with it? And that is the hardest question, apparently, for executives who run companies to answer sometimes. It's like, wait a minute, you started this company. Who the fuck are you selling this shit to? You know, but the more specific you can be about what you're trying to do, the easier and more enjoyable the path is. That's the kind of the purpose behind the questions I'm asking. They have different type of content. Yeah, like Lisa brings up a great question. Marvel fans are quite a bit different from DC fans, right? Like, if you're going to do the, oh, I want to make it for everybody, let me tell you, I'll give you 3 guesses who's going to be reading your comic if you try to make it vanilla and try to make everybody like it. You want to know why video games are vanilla and everybody likes them? Because a lot of these companies that make them spend more money fucking advertising the game to you and shoving it down your throat than they spend on making the damn game. So you can't escape the marketing machine that eventually gets you excited about a thing because they never shut the fuck up. But when you're a smaller entity that's trying to fight for attention that you don't already have, you have to play the game with way more empathy than a game developer will. You have to care about the end consumer intimately if you want them to be into what you're doing. That's why I say art is such a thankless life. I don't know why anybody would sign up to do it. Because it's just signing up to be really, really, really empathetic and sympathetic to a group of people that are probably never going to tell you thank you. Now, your zealots and the people who love what you do will tell you thank you all the time. And they'll be the ones that support you and keep you going. But for the most part, that's the dark side of art you really need to know about before all these, Santa Claus dreams start showing. I want to be. It's like, okay, be prepared to be really disappointed for quite some time until people give a shit, which will happen if you're disciplined and consistent. Well, I should say can happen. It's not a guarantee. My target are people who like action stories and comic books, and I want to have gladiator feel to the story with fantasy mixed in. Okay. I'm not making it for everyone because not everyone's going to like it. No, I realize that. But what I'm saying is, if you're making it for the comic and D&D nerds, you are making it for everybody and nobody's going to give a shit. Be more specific. My point is, comic and D&D nerds is too broad. At the level, you're like when you get to be Conan O'Brien, you can do that generic shit. And you can go nuts with it because you're Conan O'Brien, and if you show up in a place, people will be cheering your name. But until then, let's find an underserved audience that you can supply with a lot of dope shit, and then they'll love you forever. Yeah, that supply and demand thing you learned in economics works in art too. And let me help everybody. There is too much goddamn art in the world and not enough demand. So you better be damn good at what you do if you think anybody's going to pay attention to this shit. It's a gladiator comic with a D&D background. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Cool. All right. So fans of Gladiator, fans of Dungeons and Dragons, and fans of high fantasy, which you said Dungeons and Dragons, so you're automatically into high fantasy and wizards and shit. Who is this hoe asshole running around? Byron or Braun?
Tad, you're alive! You're alive!
Tad, I'm
Dead! The beast ate you! My fault! All my fault! My knife in your leg!
a knife.
You want to wreak vengeance? Don't you understand? You!
Had to hate you, player. Oh, we got another dungeon. Your story takes place in the D&D universe, but it's like a gladiator story. Okay. Steven says he's going to bed. He got his he got his first of 2 vaccines. It must have worn him out. Get some rest, homie. We'll see you on the next one. Can I close the door? It'd be dope if I could single him and then shut the door behind him and then just kill one at a time. That'd be dope. All right, so Clem, now that we got all that hashed out, let's go back to your original question. Your original question was, should you write a backstory for your comic? In fact, what I would probably do is I would write the backstory. I would get Tyler or Hippie from this community. I would work with Hippie to animate it and then release your webcomic as, release the short story as an animated thing that tells the backstory, and then let that animation advertise the webcomic, and then put that video on your TikTok or where in your YouTube shorts, your Facebook, your Instagram, put that video everywhere pointing people to the webcomic. And then that way you'll capture the nerds' attention very quickly without them having to, hey, can you please come read this 2-page fucking thing that I wrote that nobody gives a shit about because you don't care about me? Instead of doing that, give them a video where you can get that 2 pages, or you can shorten it, that bit of information that tells the audience, tell me in 1 minute or less why I should give a shit about this guy, right? And then tell me where I can get to the webcomic. That's how I would play it. Because it's hard enough. Like, how many of you by show of hands have read the book I've written? Right? Like, getting people to read your, especially like the book that I gave people is extremely helpful if they want to build their business on YouTube, because it's all the notes I took. And basically that book is all of the questions I ever answered from audience members about copyrights, how I built my channel, not just me, but I case studied a lot of other way bigger YouTube stars, which was hilarious to see which ones are still around, which ones aren't, and which ones like went over the moon crazy good, right? Like, it's really hard to get people to sit still and want to read a thing if they don't already love you or like you. You're asking too much of them, right? And what's your sell? Oh, I got this interesting webcomic I'm starting. Yeah, so do 97 other of my friends. Why would I look at yours? So knowing that that's the question, people are never going to say to you out loud, but they're going to be thinking it like, I'm never reading this shit. Give them something that gets their attention empathetically and gets them to pay attention to what you're trying to say. Then once you have their attention, and as long as that video you showed them got them enthusiastic enough about your webcomic, they'll buy it. Or in this case, give their attention to it would be the same thing as getting a purchase, right? Because if you know anything about sales, you cannot get somebody's money before you get their time. And before anybody buys anything from you, they're going to spend a lot of effing time with you, especially if what you have is expensive. So like if you take, when I mentor and train Spartans, that is not cheap. And ask the people here who have done it, did they join the first time they ever heard me talk about it? Which I don't talk about it much, so that's probably hard to do. Because I don't advertise it, because I specifically only want it kind of invite only, and I only want people who have been in the program to recommend others, because I don't like working with everybody. I am not particularly socially skilled to work with highly needy people, and the internet is full of those folks. So I'm just like, nope. I need people who have already turned pro, people who want to kick ass, and they just need help. Like I don't know the things to do, or my mindset's not right, but they don't have to be turned into a human. Right, and if you know that about it, then you can start to go out and do your marketing appropriately. But think of how many people here have taken advantage of that program, and how many times they had to hear me talk about it on the podcast, on the show, before they finally decided, hey, this guy is probably just not insane enough to actually help me out. Let me give him a shot. Maybe he can finally help me with this thing that I haven't been able to get over the hill. And what's interesting is a lot of the people who I've helped over the last year, a lot of what we were working on were obstacles that they couldn't get over previously, and now they've done it, and it's very fun to watch. Like the amount of people who got their businesses started and are actually making money. Actually, a very close friend of mine is making very much lots of money because of these programs. So those are the things you have to think about, Clem. When you first start, artists think very narcissistically, even though they don't think they do. It's like, oh, everyone's going to love this because it's beautiful. No, they won't. They're going to love you before they love your art. And that's actually kind of backwards, because they got to love your art before they can love you. But you have got to give them something that's so undeniably pleasing that they're going to tune into it. All right, so take one of my viral videos from last year, the love languages one. That video went nuts because mostly women everywhere were like, hey, like basically the reason why that video went viral is women everywhere started sharing it with their men. Like, hey, motherfucker, listen to this guy. And then the men were pissed like, hey, fuck you. It's like, hey, man, I didn't send you this damn video. Obviously, you're not as squared away as you think you are if your lady's sending you shit. Don't get mad at me. Fix you. Well, she ain't good either. Well, then leave her. Why are you yelling at me? You leave. This video's not for you. Man, this game, there is so much nuance to the design of the combat. So right there, I'm getting attacked by a big monster and a bunch of littles. Think the face crabs from like Half-Life. Annoying. I have a spell that if I have it leveled up properly, I can hold it, Hadouken, and then that Hadouken hits the character I'm targeting, but it also bounces off of him and hits everything else within range. Those little tiny head crabs all get hit and die within one. Like, the shit the designers baked into this game. This game is so much better than it gets freaking credit for. And I get why the people that hate it. Me and the people who hate this game are from two very, very different universes when it comes to games. And I respect their universe. I'm not here to shit on the people who love stories and they need these games to have some fucking fairy tale that makes them feel grounded in the world. I got it. There are people who love reading fucking Dragon Knight novels and shit. I would rather fucking sit on a knife. But for the people who love that, they're going to hate this game because the story is very minimal and not very well pieced together. And there's not a lot of great dialogue. And it's just going through dungeons, killing shit, and getting stronger. So if you don't like that, and you were waiting for an epic tale, disappointment is on the horizon. And what I found with this like modern era of reviewers is that's the thing they all seem to be looking for is, where's the epic story? Like, there isn't one, bitch. It's a game. Fuck the goddamn story and play. Like, does everything have to be fucking Gladiator to you people? Which, by the way, none of it is. Why do you like the, But there's so much in the play of this game that's not perfect. The controls needed a lot of work. So does every game that's built in the spirit of Piranha Bytes. They all need work. You guys watch me play Elix on this channel. Elix needs work desperately. But it's still not, you know, it's still okay for what it is. Clem, you said you joined a year later. You joined what? What you talking about joining, man? Clem, that's cute. You have to get people's attention within the first 30 seconds. Yeah, back in the 1970s, that was true, buddy. You have 2 seconds now. It's not 30. You have 2 seconds to get these people's attention. You better do something really amazing. Yeah, 30 seconds was the 70s for print ads. It's 3 to 7 seconds now, I think, is the actual number they came up with. But it is certainly not 30, bro. 30 seconds, like, the the optimal length of a TikTok video is 9 seconds. So I, you know, that's a very, very not correct statement in the right context, but there are contexts where that statement is absolutely true. So yeah, this 30 seconds you think you have, you do not have. And that's what I'm trying to wake you up to is you literally just said, yo, B, should I write a 2-page essay? Motherfucker, you're not going to read that shit. Like, what? No! That is not how we're going to get people's attention, damn it. Which, and I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that's a lot harder road to, you're going to be standing on street corners talking about, hey, come read my thing. Hey, come, you're going to be basically have to do what Soulja Boy did to promote his album, which is annoy the fuck out of everybody forever. And finally, they're just like, I'll listen if he'll shut the fuck up. And then, next thing you know, he's famous. Oh, you're talking about the Good Life Playbook. I got you. Yeah, that's a whole separate thing. That's a whole separate discussion. How hard is it for Studio B to acquire the unfinished Elix and spit polish it? I don't know, because I imagine the things that are wrong with these games are at the engine level. And I imagine I don't know, but are they building, if they're building their own engines, then you're screwed to a degree, because then you've got to work with their shit. If they were using something like Havoc, or, you know, Havoc is one of the engines that I had the least amount of problems with, or Unreal, which I have no idea. They may be using Havoc for all I know and just using it poorly. Spit polishing it could be wildly challenging depending on what is the kind of the bedrock of the code that you have to fuck with, if anything. And for what this game is, I'm not even sure how I'd improve the controls. Like, making me faster would, by nature, make the game stupid easy, because now I can get away from everything very easily. You guys see that chain reaction that went all the way through the room and then lit up the prowlers? Come get some, hoes. I got all you need right here, right here, right here. Come on, give me a 2. Give me a 2. Give me a 2, dagnabbit. Oh, both of them going special moves on that ass. One down. I can't wait for one of y'all to purchase a course one day, and you're going to spend money on it, and you'll be like, man, B told me that shit 4 years ago, and the shit he told me was more than this $500 course. You know how many people I've had come and tell me that, like, yo, I just bought this course from so-and-so. B, the shit you talked about on your video Thursday covered the whole fucking course. I was like, well, that's because everybody's trying to turn their knowledge into marketable products. This guy is not. So, because that's what humans have done since eternity, is try to play on your fucking ignorance. Even Warren Buffett said that. I think it was Warren Buffett. Said if it weren't for people's ignorance, I wouldn't be so rich. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for. Like Clem's in here asking business strategy 101 shit that you paid $10,000 for a college course for. I'm preaching better than y'all shouting right now. But that's always one of my favorite things when someone's like, yo, B. Because when somebody came to me and told me they knew someone that spent $30,000 on a course, that's like, B, you talk more shit. I was like, I don't even want to hear the end of that sentence. Please, I'll get angry. I'll get mad. Don't finish the sentence. This is why I got out of that game. I don't want to be a part of that horse shit or the people fucking associated with it. Yeah, Clem, I know exactly what you mean. The only reason I'm being an asshole to you is I want you to not go into this blind. I want you to know how fucking hard... Like, I want you to have the dream. And I want you to get enthusiastic and excited about it. And I want you to know how fucking hard it is to pull off. So that a month from now, you're not still talking about that goddamn comic and not launching it because all of the resistance that's coming at you. I want you to know up front what you're getting into. Is you're going to do this, and no one's going to give a shit. How often are you going to be releasing these comics? Because I'm telling you right now, nobody's giving a shit for the first 90 days to a year. So I hope you're committed to make however many you plan to make in a year. Oh, man, I was on for that one. You cheating ass lockpick. Hey, it's poison lockpick. But it didn't do anything. It just... Okay. Let's save before we do this one. Clem says, puh, your podcast covers more than other people's courses, and that shit is free. Yeah, so you guys owe me how many thousands of dollars now for all the shit I've been giving you? Where's my money at? When am I getting paid? Let's go. Cough it up. Woo! Oh, damn it. I didn't look. I didn't look. I did not look. Come on, B. Now we got to go through this whole rigmarole. I don't know, man. Elix is really, really asset heavy. Unity, you think, would be able to run all those moving parts every time the world has to iterate, so to speak? I'm not using that terminology properly. I need to dust off my computer science degree and actually use it. Tag, I'm doing research on streaming. That's funny. It is very funny. I'll immediately be faster if I use that. Let's try this weapon out a little bit. Because it's a one-hander, which I haven't had in a while. It's substantially weaker than what I'm carrying. Like, way weaker. But it's a one-hander, which means I immediately get faster. Let's try that out for a little while. And Clem, how good are your skills on digital? Are you using Procreate or Adobe InDesign? What are you using to do your digital comics? Yep, immediately faster. Oh, fuck. They would put some shit like that in the dungeons so you can't move around fast. How the hell did he get out of that? Cheating ass game. That's your ass right there. I don't even know if I was supposed to go in this dungeon. I just kind of... Holy Jesus. What up, Shadow Beast? Who else is in here? Oh, it's just me and you? Let's go to work. Damn, that didn't do him in? Last one should have got him. All good, though. All good. We still handled business. Quite well, I might add. Quite well. A chalice. Uh-oh, I found me an exit. Or at least an upstairs part, but that usually means exit. Well, looky there. Alright, I'm up here on the mountainside, chilling hard like Jake Gyllenhaal. Look how beautiful this game is. Boy, you ain't never seen nothing this beautiful. Get out of here. Oh, that's not true. You guys have seen my wife. You've seen more beautiful things. What do you use for finishing, Clem? Clem says he bought a course for $35, but you did what you always do once. What was the course on, man? Was that course on 3D modeling? Made a Mewtwo with Nomad, but it failed when you try to print it on your 3D printer. Oh, there's somebody here who can help you with that. The course was helpful, but he talks too much about other shit that has nothing to do with the lesson. And that was annoying me sometimes. I got you. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. In our efforts to give consumers more value, we often wrongly believe that more volume is something that, and honestly, it's wrong to say. It's not wrong. A lot of customers value volume over quality. I mean, that's why our video games are all 40 hours now. None of them are fun for 40 hours. They're fun usually for about 5 to 15, and then we just endure the fucking rest of it. You know, unless it's a competitive game or a multiplayer game, that can be different. Or if it's Death Stranding, then you can have fun for 200 hours. You know. So yeah, I can, wanting to give the audience more than just the promised experience is often what we're going through on our end, but on your end it just seems like pontification or wasting your time. So it's learning how to have balance and empathy with the audience. Actually, that your response to that is part of the reason why I'm still needling on my podcast, because I don't want it to be just, even though I know people use my streams of consciousness kind of to do their own thinking, I don't want it to just be these self-serving rants that go nowhere. And a lot of them aren't, but some of them feel that way to me. So it's like I want to make sure I have all of that out of my system and can be a little bit more direct and practical with y'all. Because that's the kind of feedback that I always fear. It's like, okay, I don't ever want to be wasting y'all's time. That's something that I take very seriously. You know, even if it's just us here having fun. You meant the course, not finishing the course. Why didn't you finish the course? Well, it was because his teaching style didn't work for you, I guess is your answer. Which that happens. That's probably as much to blame on your lack of resilience as it is on the teacher not teaching in a way that resonates with you. You know, so I would definitely hold yourself accountable, but not be too judgmental or hard on yourself. Kicking ass. Shall we do it, baby? Baby! Oh, I'm on that joint across from the joint, aren't I? No! No, Billy, don't do it! Don't die. Please don't die. Please don't go out into the sea. Please don't go out to sea. Please don't go out to sea. Just let me get off the ride, baby. Let me get off the ride, Jesus. Please, I'm trying. Thank you. Because if he goes out to sea, that's a wrap. He dead as hell. He was trying to get me to buy more shit. Like, he will start the lesson and halfway through, he will say, for further details I have on my website. You go to the website and it's locked. Yeah, I mean, that's how online education works. Like, you guys got to understand, dude. Online educators understand that none of you fuckers want to pay for education because you don't value it. So in order to get you to pay what the education is worth, they have to take you on this fucking nickel and dime journey to make their businesses profitable. Right? It's why, like, when I started to study online education, where is people's attention? What are they actually purchasing? What are they getting? I was like, fuck this. Shut her down. Pull the plug. You know, we'll serve the people who were in the program because, you know, they showed up and did the hard work, but I refuse to have that never-ending fucking upsell of horse shit just to get you to pay what I thought the goddamn information was worth the first time. Right? Because the consumer thinks the course is worth $35 fucking dollars. It's not. Like, I paid, I don't remember how much for that Jordan Peterson class, but the shit I learned in there that I have used in teaching, developing myself, helping other warriors overcome hardship, that shit is worth fucking thousands. But humans will not pay for fucking education. They will spend more on a fucking football jersey than they will to educate themselves. That's why he had to do that. And I hate to say it, like, on the one end, yeah, it seems like shady practices, but the truth be told, he would not have a business in most cases if he didn't do that shit. If he wants his business to be selling education, which you might as well sell fucking books at a goddamn strip club. Especially Americans don't want that shit. Oh, damn it, B. That's a wrap. Dead. He did. That's dead. He did. Just let him die. Shit. Why you taking so long to kill him? Good day. Oh, he ain't dead yet? He ain't dead yet? Still living? Still up? Still up? Dead. Yeah, but Clem, everybody's a cheap SOB. It's not just you. I mean, the only people who pay for education are folks that understand that their education is where their millions come from. Like, I would have paid, shit, I would have gladly paid $1,500 for that Jordan Peterson class. I didn't pay that much. But gladly. Would have, here's my money. Teach it to me, Jay. Give it to me, dog. Because I understand the value of education. But most people don't. That's why they don't pay for it. Tag says, that feels similar to the martial arts that burned me once upon a time. It's typical for most martial arts schools here. But it's the only, like, it looks and sounds shady. But what customers don't understand is that a customer-business relationship is symbiotic. The business's ability to continue to provide you great services are predicated on them being able to make a profit for a couple of reasons. One, they can beat inflation and keep the business open as everything starts to cost more, and they can afford to pay their people who are working hard to develop shit for you, right? But because in this country, nobody, and by the way, that's not new. Humans have not valued education since the beginning of time. That's why the Bible would never shut the fuck up about, in all you're getting, get understanding. Like, study to show thyself approved. The Bible continues to repeat it because they know the human ape is stupid and it forgets, and it does. It's like you got to be reminded and practice these fundamentals. But yeah, that's why everybody selling education has to turn it into a goddamn event where you feel like you met Jesus. Because if you don't give a customer that epiphany, that moment of Shangri-La, it's like they don't want to give you, that's what they're used to paying for. is emotions, not knowledge. People who pay for knowledge instead of the emotion that knowledge creates understand that their knowledge is how they produce more wealth, but most people never figure that out. They don't understand that their lack of wealth is their lack of knowledge, and they don't start surrounding themselves with people and, education that can help them get out of that. They think there's a trick or a hook, and if they can just hang on, someone's going to show them the trick. Ain't no trick, ho. You just got to know the moves to take, and you got to have someone that helps you stay accountable to taking the right moves. That's why professional athletes all have, and that's actually a good segue into why I left professional art. And it's all on this box right here. I'm going to blow it up so you guys can see it. Now, I am kind of joking with this. I understand that Cheerios is trying to be playful in their marketing. I'm not against it. I'm also not trying to shit on the human I'm about to show you, because I have a lot of respect for him as an artist and what he's been able to do. Especially with who he is, where he came from, and just, you talk about persistence. Woo! Like a market that didn't like him, music fans that didn't like him, and he kept going, and he got successful. This dude's been through hell. I got a lot of respect for him. All right, so this is intended to be somewhat tongue-in-cheek and funny, but this right here is why your boy couldn't fuck with being a professional artist. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be fucking shucking and jiving on a goddamn Cheerios box. This is not what I want to do for my great-great-grandkids' college fund. You think when Ice-T woke up that morning, he was thinking about dancing on a Cheerios box? Well, until they backed the money dump truck up to his house, and they said, listen, man, $7 million if you dance. And he got to dance. But notice what's right up here. This is what got me. This is when I saw this box, my feelings were hurt. I don't like the term life coach. I never have. I think it's a bastardization of the word, because I think the word coach is one of the most honorable titles that you can give a human being. And the people that I call coach are people that I respect very deeply. Because the coaches in my life, especially the athletic coaches, are the people who in most ways shaped me into the man that I am. So my coaches are all people that I still keep in contact with a good amount of my coaches. In fact, my head coach that I went undefeated with in football, I just ran into him at the grocery store a couple of months ago. And, I've told the story. I just said, hey, coach, listen, you may not remember me. I know I look quite a bit different than when I was younger. I know you wish I was this big when I was playing for you. But I didn't say any of that. I just said, coach, I don't want to keep you. I don't want to bother you. All I want to say to you is I'm glad to see you're still alive. You're still doing well. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to play for you and for all the things that I learned. That's an honorable title. To turn coaching into this shit is why it's like, don't ever call me a goddamn life coach. I never want to wear that shitty title. Because it's cornball marketing bullshit. Like, Coach Ice-T is going to teach me some dance moves so I can get in shape. Get your fat ass outside and walk for 20 minutes hard. Like, enough with the fucking you need to have gimmicks to be coerced into taking care of yourself. This is exactly the kind of people... Let me stop. Because then the joke's going to get real. We're going to cut it out there. So like for me, the word coach is a title you give to a person who's pulled you out of a fire. Coach is not some shit you throw in a goddamn Cheerios box and bastardize the whole principle and concept of what a coach is. Now, again, I get it. Cheerios is trying to have fun. Coach Ice-T is just a play on words. I got it. He's not an actual coach. But my point is, this is what Americans are thinking about when they think about a coach. I'm thinking about a guy who taught me how to be a fucking man. Yes, he was teaching me athletics, but what he was actually teaching me was, hey, here's how to be respectful, and here's how to push through shit when you're hurting, because that's the only way you're gonna win. You want a wife? Would you like to have a wife? You're gonna have to go through the hell of dealing with shitty relationships to learn how to be a good person who can attract a woman like the one you want. Like, that's what coaches do. You know, but I get that they're playing around. I don't get it. I don't get the human that needs all this goddamn inspiration. But you know what I do? On the empathetic side, I've been resenting this. You're a motivational speaker, you're an inspirational speaker, and I'll tell you why. Because everywhere I've been, I've never had to inspire anybody. Because we depend on each other to not die. That's all the inspiration we need. But on the flip side of the real world where bullets are not flying, the one thing I can definitely empathize with, I think, in the whole world, is that so many people, maybe some of you here, maybe not some of you here, but maybe some of you here, you've been told for so long in your life that you cannot, right? Nobody modeled success for you to show you what it looked like, to show you what working hard towards something and failing and failing and failing and then finally getting there looks like. Right? And you had people in your life that either told you you couldn't, or at the very least you didn't have somebody that told you you could. And I think back to my dad, who looked me dead in my eye when I told him I wanted to be a professional athlete. He did not bat an eyelash. He said, cool, when do we go to work? Because you could do it, but you're going to work your fucking ass off because you're small. I'm not now, but I was. He's like, you're going to hit some weights. Your ass has got to get bigger. You got to learn how to run right. And you got to get in shape. Like, you got to be able to run for an hour hard and run into things. And like, I had a dad that says, if you want to go get this thing, not only is it possible, I'm going to get in these trenches with you and show you how to make it work. And I realize that's the greatest privilege I ever had. Wasn't that, you know, I grew up in a middle-class military family. A lot of people think that shit is rich, but it's like, no. Just because he had, you know, just because he had a very nice ranking position. Don't get it twisted. He wasn't making no CEO money. But, you know, but I did come from not poverty. But the greatest privilege I had wasn't the house I grew up in or, you know, not being completely poor and destitute. The privilege I had was having a dad that had his head on straight, who had already been through hell and poverty and not having a father and abandonment. And I went through not having my biological father. He stepped in and he plugged that gap for me in ways that his dad never did for him. And that's the thing I think I empathize with the world and why I want to help so much is I realize a lot of people aren't doing their shit because nobody taught you to believe in yourself. And that is, the more I look at it, I think believing in oneself is actually a skill. It's not, yes, it is something that I am born genetically predisposed to be it's easier for me to do than someone who's more neurotic. But it is very much a skill that has to be developed, and I still get nervous and scared and fearful, even with a lot of extroversion. So, you know, if that's the thing that is requiring these obese people to need Coach Ice-T to dance them out of their fucking hell, fine. But just let me remind you, you don't need Coach Ice-T to dance you out of your shit. You just need half an ounce of belief in yourself. Because I wonder, are there some of you out here, the reason why you're not playing the game hard, and it probably doesn't apply to the people watching this show, but just out there in the ether, like, are you not trying hard because you're convinced you're just going to lose the game anyway, and you might as well just go work at the gas station and play Madden for the rest of your life? Like, is that the reason why you don't want to go after this thing you called a dream? Is that why you're pursuing a shadow career? Is because you think in the back of your mind it's going to fail anyway? Because I got news for you. It doesn't have to. Oh shit. Jump. Give me two. Give me something to work with here, ho! Come on, let the damn lightning do the rest of the work. I guess I really should level up at some point, so I'm not completely weak out here on the battlefield. That guy should be dead. Yeah, you dead. Yep. Oh, this is the fight down at the beach. Love this part. I think you can gain like a gang of levels here too, if I'm remembering correctly. Clem said, "Brian, stop getting famous. These bots won't stop." But yeah, iced tea dancing on a Cheerios box was when I saw the inevitable end of artists. I was like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm not putting in all this work to be dancing on no goddamn cereal box. And then watch me get an offer from like Wheaties. Hey man, we want you on the box. You gonna be Coach B, and I'll be right there dancing too. Fuck everybody. Give me my money, hoes.
Just what we need.
What is it?
The dead have crawled out of the sea. We're safe on this holy ground, but
Are
we're
we
stuck
now?
Dead from the sea?
here. The storm was tainted by dark forces. Now it nurtures the dead and invigorates them.
What kind of dark forces?
The source of the evil must lie hidden somewhere between the shipwrecks. I can feel it.
Let me guess. Now it's...
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Well, why don't you do it yourself?
Because we have to stay here and hold the force balance of the Talonor.
Try something. Didn't work out.
Oh, they made it simpler
My
than that.
companions are merely apprentices. They lent me their powers for a ritual, and now they're drained.
Oh. All that shit about mages being the most powerful force on the battlefield is shit then? That's what I thought.
I'll see what I can do
Pussies.
around the beach.
That would be a blessing, stranger. If you find anything suspicious,
My
bring it
ongoing
to
hate
us.
for mages.
Maybe we can cleanse it.
Although if I was in one of these games, I definitely would want to be a mage. I'm shooting something out of my hand. Fuck everybody. I'm learning that shit. But I'm going to learn how to hold a gun too. Fuck all that wearing robes shit. I want body armor and laser bolts shooting out of my hand. Screw you. Alright, this is fun because I think we level up 90 times here. Or maybe just once. Ooh, 160 deuce. I will take it. I vaguely remember, though, there's a trophy that this fight may help us get faster if I'm smart about how I fight. So I think we're going to adjourn here for the noche. And we'll come back down this wonderful hill after we get our killing done. We're getting close to the end of the game, gang. We got to get through this forest, and then we get to the Temple of Valmordar, or whatever the people are called in this game that I wasn't paying attention to. And then once we get there, pretty sure we just run through the cave to the final dude of ass whooping. And then It's a fight for the ages in that cave, if memory serves me right. Oh, but no, we still got to do the Fall of Satarith DLC. So we got a ways to go in Arcania. It's not over yet, y'all. We got a lot of adventure left today. The altar stone is locked because you're all whores. But we're going to head out to that beach next time we stream. Or at least the next time we stream Arcania. We're going to head out to that beach and kick ass. Then we're going to go to that boat in the distance, because if my memory serves me right on that too, there are cool things to find on that boat, and then a crazy monster off to the left of it. So we have a lot of fisticuffs and interesting things to get into this time round. Oh, I'm sorry, next time around. So, that in mind, today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Friday. We typically be playing Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna, but thank you to Jesus, we quit that. Whatever that is. I think tomorrow, I haven't decided officially, but I'd like to get some Shan Yuan in, because we neglected her this week. Took some days off to focus on the family and focus on me. Make sure, you know, I'm living up to all this bullshit I tell you guys to do, which is taking care of yourself. So I try to at least get some of that right for myself. Oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to show you guys before I let you go. I'll be right back. All right, so let me switch to full camera here so you guys can see what we're working with. All right, so this year with the Spartans that I work with and train, we broke 2022 down into 3 phases, right? So, and a bunch of you have heard this part before, so forgive me for repeating it. We're breaking 2022 down into the healing phase, the back to basics and reconstitution phase, and then execution, right? So for a number of you, we've laid out what is the number one goal we've got for this year, right? For many of you, it's a financial thing. So it's like, okay, cool. We're going to have fun with that. We're going to have an adventure to show you how to make more money and make it fun so that you don't have to rip your hair out trying to make this shit work. You can apply for jobs the right way and or build a freelance career the right way and not have to have all the headache of doing it the way most people do it when they fail at it. But before we get into that, in the healing phase, one of the things I'm working very heavily on, or talking about a lot with my Spartans, is taking care of our bodies. So it is my expectation, if you consider yourself a member of this community, you are committed to taking care of your fitness and getting in shape. Right? I don't want anybody bragging about how much they sit on ass, or the last time I worked out was 27 years ago. Yeah, cut that shit out. Right? Because I'd like you guys, ladies and others, to live as long as you're capable of living healthily. And getting in better shape is going to do that for you. Now, I realize we have people with disabilities. I am in that crowd as well. So there's certain things we can't do. There are people with autoimmune disorders that prevent them from doing certain types of things. No problem. We're going to do the things that work for us, but we're still going to take care of our body and not make excuses. So with my Spartans, they're committed at minimum, depending on their ability level, 3 to 5 days a week of fitness. And one of the things that I'd like to show you is just how simple and easy taking care of your fitness can be. I have literally done entire chest workouts sitting in this exact chair. I don't remember what I was doing that day. In fact, I think I do. I was programming the 52 book challenge, and that's a very tedious data entry thing that just sitting here and doing doesn't take a lot of cerebral power, but it's very boring. So what I would do is I'd take my bands and I did a quick, and remember that I came from being severely injured earlier this year, right? And a family that had COVID. So I went about 2 months without working out because I physically couldn't. And then I was in a house where I was taking care of people, and going out and working out, I just didn't want to do because I didn't want to put people at risk. All right. I literally sat here as I started to heal in this chair with these bands right behind my back. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do an entire workout because that's not the point of this. what I'd like to show you very simply is just how easy it is to get a workout in, right? Sitting right here in your office chair. And so what I did was I can do this band with the crossover. Basically, it's similar to if you've done a pec deck in the gym. If you understand your chest muscles and your shoulders, one of the things they're designed to do is hug or grapple. So your chest flexes when you cross your arms and you hug or you grapple, like grabbing and tackling somebody is something we've learned to do while hunting. So we have chest muscles, right? At least that's how I think that came to be. Anyway, so crossing over like this so the bands are resisting from my back to here, and they're resisting me pushing. So I am literally getting a bench press workout, but it's better than a bench press workout because all of my stabilizers from all the deltoids, my triceps, into my chest have to work together to sustain not only the concentric and the eccentric motion, but also the fact that I will hold it out here to create time under tension to help the muscles get bigger. All right, that's one set. You put this down, I can go back and then I give myself, I have, depending on the type of workout, I have anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes time off in between each set, right? So if I'm doing powerlifting, like if I'm trying to get stronger, I'm going to take more rest in between my sets because I need my muscles to be oxygenated at optimal levels so that I can push really heavy weight again. If I'm bodybuilding and trying to get bigger as a person, I'm going to take less rest because I want the muscles under tension for a longer period of time to create the damage that leads to the hypertrophy that leads to me growing back bigger chest muscles. But the point is, if I now have a 30-second break, I turn it into a game. Boom, I come over here. How many of these books can I get put in the system and checked for validity? Because I don't want to be sending you guys stuff that's broken and wrong. Right? How many can I get put in and check for validity in 30 seconds? Or I think I was giving myself a minute for this workout. In a minute, boom. Okay, let's come back and do set number 2. Literally in the time it took me to program the 52-book challenge, I also got a workout in. Sitting right here in the chair, I did a whole chest workout. Good to go. So I want you all to look at fitness much more practically than some of you may be doing. Like, I got to go to the gym. No, you don't. And if you don't have bands, drop down and do push-ups. And if you can't do push-ups, do assisted push-ups. Do damn decline push-ups if you have to. I don't give a damn. Do whatever it takes to get that heart rate up. I mean, you can literally just do leg lifts like this and hold your legs up in the air for, as long as you can hold it till you go to failure. Give yourself 15 seconds, get your legs back up. So now you're going to be working your core. You're going to be strengthening those abs and your hip flexor muscles, right? So that's the other thing I wanted to leave you all with is my expectation that you are taking care of your health, that you're eating as right as you can. I still want you to enjoy the things you like. If you like ice cream, get it in there. But you need to eat right 75 to 80% of the time and then enjoy your 20% off. Right? And earn that 20% off. Work that shit off in your workouts. But 5 days a week, I want 20 minutes of something that makes your heart rate go up so your big ass will be on this earth longer. Okay? All right. And I'm sharing that in love. I know I use a lot of harsh language, guys, but listen, when people have seen death, they don't come back and use nice words. All right? We come back and tell the truth, and we tell it vividly. Because we don't want it to be misunderstood, because death teaches us that we only have so much time to play this game, and sugarcoating, aka lying to people, ain't the way to play this game. All right, let's take these last comments and get up out of here. Oh, and by the way, to add to everything Tag just said, at the end of the workout, your body's going to release some endorphins, aka, or that is, your parasympathetic nervous system's going to start releasing some good drugs, and all of your anxiety is going to go down the toilet. A lot of you have unmanageable anxiety because you're not moving your ass. And you're trying to think your way out of it instead of punching your way out of it. Get up and move, guys. The meaning of life is movement. So move your ass. So, and thanks for adding that tag. That's good to know for my ADHD folks out there. That's another thing we're doing in our program. Like, ADHD is not an excuse for anything. We'll teach people how to use it, not to let it use and abuse you. 'Cause trust me, I have ADD too. I don't know that I'd add the H to it, although the H certainly could manifest in my hyperactivity, not my So maybe the H is accurate too. Because sitting still is not something I do well. Turbolin says, I'm doing it, B. Excellent. Glad to hear it. And I have doctor help too. All right. You're batting 1,000, Turbo. You're killing it today, Turb. Not that you're not usually killing it, but you've had a lot of good shares today. I'm really proud of you. And happy for you. Clem says, I have those bands, only used them 3 times. I've been on a plank binge the last couple of days, says Lisa. Okay. Cool. Clem says, I can't bike like a madman, and I used to walk 10 miles a day at work. Okay, so you can bike like a madman is what you meant to say, I think. I think. The spell check got you, I'm not sure. Yeah, so Clem, let's turn that used to into I do, not used to. I can, that's what I thought. I figured the old spell check gremlin got you. You must have an Android, because Android be fucking up sentences. Like, I complained, not complained, because nobody would listen to me complain, but I lamented for years that the iPhone had a shitty keyboard, and I still think they do. And I remember getting a Samsung Note, or Samsung Galaxy, whatever, that would have been 2015, I think. And it was great. The keyboard worked. I didn't misspell all the words. And then whatever happened between then and now, the Samsung keyboard is worse than Apple's. Like, worse. Like, the spell check just says fuck you sometimes and does its own thing. Like, what the fuck? How are you worse? You used to be more than functional. You used to actually be what I would call good. Now you just suck like Apple sucks, but worse. And that's not good because Apple regularly makes me want to club seals and just club them. Are any of you old enough to remember when they were clubbing baby seals? Like the rich people were going out on boats, clubbing the shit out of them for their fur. That's where that joke comes from. But I think if you weren't born in the 80s, or didn't live in the 80s, I should say, regardless of when you were born, you probably never heard about that. So when I say club baby seals, I'm like, that's weirdly violent and unnecessary. Like, it's a joke from a long time ago that nobody knows because everybody's not old. Clem says, I have sausage fingers and gorilla hands. Card carrying member. And I have big hands. And with my hands dwarf my fingers, so it's even worse. It's like, oh. It's the worst, man. I can grip the shit out of a basketball. But damn, I can't use a phone. Oh, God. Yeah, punching bags are fantastic. The gym I went to for a couple of years, back during my consulting days, one of the gyms I used to hang out at, this hole-in-the-wall basement joint. It was awesome. It was part of a business, but you could go there and work out. And they had a punching bag. And I used to go through my crazy weightlifting routines and then hit the fucking punching bag with nothing left in the tank but anger. Because it was pure resentment that I was taking out on that bag. It was not trying to learn how to punch. It was, let me punch this bag so that I can stay peaceful in the real world and not want to punch people. You know, and I joke about punching people and shoving knives in, like, I'm very, very, I don't like violence at all. Like, I would never want to hit anybody. I certainly would never start a fight with anybody. And frankly, I think if somebody started a fight with me, my goal would be to run away, because I don't want to fight. Like, it's not my thing. I don't like fighting. I don't like conflict. I like peace. I like us all to get along. I think that's why I don't like the internet very much, because the people there seem like they're not happy unless they're miserable. Screaming at somebody about something. It's like, man, I'm just trying to live, bro. Can we tone that screaming down? All that anger you got that is really directed at your mom and not us. Go talk to her and stop yelling at us, or talk to your therapist, but leave us out of it. Tag, I don't feel like I don't think any self-respecting grown man would, one, use a Joy-Con sideways. Two, if he did it, he better not damn admit it. He better keep that shit locked up and pent up for the rest of his life. I don't care how big my hands are. Not gonna happen. Because if you look at my hands, it looks like I have not giant fingers, but it's because I have I have Emperor Palpatine's fucking hand. And then my fingers are just like, fuck it, that's all the growing we're doing. Like, okay. So it makes me look, you have like big stubby hands, basically, but can grip the shit out of a basketball and a football. One-handed dunks for the win. Lisa says, I don't like conflict, but definitely feel a throat punch surge. Exactly. Yeah, like, I never wanted to hurt anybody, but I would be filled at times with so much rage that it was like, I gotta punch something. I've literally punched trees with padded gloves on before, just because I didn't have shit else to work on. It's like, I'm gonna punch these trees, man. Fuck it. Thank God for padded gloves, because my hands would be all fucked up from that day. Let's see, Clem says, when I was 14, I had these long springs for working out with the grips at the ends. I used to use that to throw punches. Oh, yeah, dude. I like Tag's breakdown. All these people with awesomely different weapons at the end of their arms. Oh, it's funny. Tag says, member of the tree punching club also. Yeah, man. I didn't have a punching bag, so I punched a tree. I've punched the shit out of trees, punching bags. I think the first time I ever bench pressed 135 as a kid was after my mom had done some shit to me that made me want to fucking rip a hole in the wall of the house. And so I just went downstairs and lifted weights. And that was the day I learned. I think I was about 14. And I just like, oh shit, anger is powerful if you can channel it right. Hell yeah, I'm going to use this. And I've been using it every day since. Channel it in good ways. Don't channel it at people. People are rarely your problem. The shit in their head is usually your problem. And the shit in their head is often not their fault. Definitely. Let's see, Clem's never punched a tree. I've punched trees and done tackling drills on a tree. I lost the tackling drill, but I made a bunch of my drunk friends, myself included. I wasn't drunk, but I probably had 3 in me at the time. And I was doing tackling. The rest of the football team that was with me that night got a kick out of my tackling drills against a tree. Because my whole MO was I can hit anybody because I hit hard as shit. Because playing my position, you had to learn how to hit hard. Because by the time I hit people, they're running at full speed. Like, I'm not tackling anybody at the line of scrimmage and, land on them. I got to hit a guy after he's had 2 lead blocks and now has gotten into his stride. And we got to go face to face. That shit is hard. I don't care how big or small that person is. A person with a full head of steam, it's physics, man. There's going to be a collision. So yeah, man, I loved just the idea of being able to hit something that's bigger and stronger than me and move it like that. It makes you feel strong. Football gave me my first sense of real confidence and strength. You had gangbangers volunteer to be your trees and bullies. That's funny. Turbo punched pillows and mattresses. There you go. Working your way up. Punching bags next. Then hopefully you never get to trees. Hopefully you get enough zen. Like, you know, I'm trying to, this is my new phase right here. This is me right here. This is where I'm headed. Just painting peaceful trees, baby. I'm not mad at anybody. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win, man. Even the people that don't like me. Like, I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to have a bad life. And know that I love you, even if you don't like me. That's cool. You ain't got to like me. Sometimes I don't like me. So welcome to the club. Never been attacked by a tree. Perfect timing with the movie quote, Suba. Well done. That's great. Oh, just Suba judging all of us quietly for how stupid we are with that statement. I love it. I've never been attacked by a tree. This dumb motherfucker reads books, but he still tackles trees. He's fucking retarded. Why do we listen to this guy? And he says the word retarded, which they're not allowed to say anymore. But he's partially retarded, so I guess that's why he gets away with it. Oh, God. That's funny, Tag. I did that to my brother. The last wrestling match I got in with my brother was the exact same thing. He was a wrestler who pinned me down, and I just got a hold of his shirt. And I was, I think, quite a bit more arrogant the way I handled it. You seem to have handled it with some humility and grace. I grabbed my brother's shirt at his stomach and his chest, and I didn't just bench press him off me. I bench pressed him off me, held him up, and looked him in the eye and said, "Hey, you know you're my warm-up weight, right?" And he said, "Fuck you." And then I put him down. And that was he said, "I never challenged that fool again after he embarrassed the shit out of me." Because, you know, my brother used to beat the fuck out of me as a kid, as brothers are supposed to do. But, yeah, the day he thought he could challenge me, he didn't realize I was bodybuilding and powerlifting at the time. I was like, "You know you're my warm-up weight, right?" And he's like, "Fuck you. Put me down, you bitch." It's like, wait a minute, how do I get called a bitch? I'm the one holding you up in the air. That's a great story, Tag. I'll never forget the look in his eye as he realized he was now outmatched by his son. I know one day mine will pass me up the same. I tell him like my dad taught me, "You'll never be big or strong enough to beat me, and when you get that big and strong, I'll be too old to fight." And that shit was true. I never got big. By the time I got big and strong enough to beat my dad down, it would have been beating on the elderly. That's why that's part of the reason why I still train now, because you got to keep young men in line. They, especially when they get to smelling themselves, like, "Hey, dad, like, hey, first of all, take some of that bass about your voice. Take some of that bass about your voice, Chief, because I can still stone cold stun your ass up in this house. Don't think I can't." Yeah, so wake up and see Vince McMahon standing over the bed. I don't even watch wrestling. I know that dude. Lisa says, "Bob brings me that shift of peace, doesn't he? He's great at it." Anyway, gang, this has been fun. I hope you guys had a great time, and you're going to be riding off into the sunset of your rest here shortly and getting ready for tomorrow's challenges and blessings. I'm going to go ahead and save this game one last time for the Gipper. I will figure out what we're going to stream the next time we hang out, which should be tomorrow. Maybe we'll get to hang out twice or maybe even 3 times tomorrow like we did today. I think I will start doing more of those just, hey, flip on the camera and come hang out for a minute streams like I did earlier today with no gaming and just chat with you guys. And we chatted. I showed you guys some video clips of the stuff I watched during the day. You saw some of the sports news I watched. We watched the Gary Vaynerchuk video on the future of marketing, and he was talking to the NFL rep. We got some of that information and talked about it. And then I harped on, yes, everything this guy from the NFL just said, you guys need to pay very close attention to that. It's why people like me and Tim Schmoyer always have said, and still I advocate for this, make content for humans, not algorithms. Making content for algorithms is trying to go viral because you don't understand that virality is not where your success is. Your success is in consistently reaching an audience and maintaining that attention over time to the point where you can have a value exchange with one another. That is the game you were playing. All right, so I'll figure out what games we want to bring to the table tomorrow. I think I may be... more good news. I talked to my people. East Starland's the people's champ. East Starland's the people's champ. And my boy was working too. I called up yesterday. I said, my man, I bought the Suikoden 5, baby. I bought it from the store for $6,000, and look what came in the case. It's Suikoden 4. I said, dude, it was like 2 months ago when I bought this. Do you guys even have a return policy? He's like, dude, just bring it back up. We'll refund the difference. Problem solved. I was like, what? You're going to make it that easy? He's like, yeah, bro. Like, it's not like you bought Suikoden 5 on eBay and came here to try to rob us. Like, that's stupid. He's like, we're going to have a record that you bought it. We're also going to have a record that we're missing a Suikoden 4. He's like, so bring it up. And what will probably end up happening is they'll refund me the difference, but I'm going to keep Suikoden 4, damn it, because I want to play that too. And then they'll just refund me the difference of that. But I was violently disappointed when I opened this to find that Suikoden 5 was not in here. That hurt my soul. But to learn that my boys are going to hook me up. What makes me sad now is I still don't have the game. Like, I desperately wanted to play this again. And it is not easy to find. Nor is it cheap. Now, I tried to get it. I got a discount and tried to get it when it was cheaper than it is now. But what are we going to do? Yeah, that's true, Tag. That's how you handle business as a warrior. And I think that's why Chris has been in business as long as he has. Because, I've heard people talk bad about East Starland in passing. Like, oh, their prices are too high. It's like, what? It's gaming, y'all. Where the fuck cheapskate-ass place are you buying your games? Like, the margin of sales are not that fucking different. Wherever you go, like, I've never understood, like, where's this magical place where you're getting all your games cheap besides emulating them on the internet, which is not supporting local business. It's just you being too cheap to support anybody for your dopamine fix. Like, okay. But yeah, they've taken care of me. Like, I've literally walked out of the store before and come back in like, yo, y'all didn't charge me for this. They're like, okay, I'm out. Thanks. They've thrown shit in the bag. Like, take this one too, man. Get out of here. Like, you've bought half of our store, so why don't you just have more of the store to take home with you? Oh, man. Yeah, Tag, that's what I'm saying. Pay the $5 to $10 extra bucks to support a local business. Like, what are you actually... So let me get this right. You got Star Ocean 2 for $44 instead of $51. Is that what you're telling me when you tell me... Like, I can't even... The human that says that type of shit and me are from completely different universes, so I don't even know why I listen to it. But... they are the people's champ. They've taken care of me for a lot of years, man. And Chris has been a good guy to me. I got a chance to go in and consult with him years ago. I think it was like 2014, 15 timeframe. And I got to hang out with him and learn about his business and learn about how I could help his business. And what we learned at the time, what we both kind of decided was, yeah, what you're doing and the content you're wanting to make, it really isn't going to do what you want it to do. So we ended up not really making a ton of content. But me and my friend that I talked to on the phone today, we have talked offline and said, hey, y'all, like, we should start generating some shit together just as y'all work here and I'm a friend of the store and the owner and y'all, why don't we just make shit? Like, if I come in and there's a dope sale, like, let's talk about it. Like, let's just make a show right here in this. I said, I'll help you guys do that. you guys are friends of mine, and I love this business. I don't even have to consult. Like, I'll just help because I love this store. I want this store to be here. I want East Starland to still be a thing when my great grandkids come around. You know, I don't want physical media to just die. I support digital media. I think it adds convenience. It takes away our carbon footprint. But I think there's still some value in holding on to physical things. You know, I think there's some joy in that. So I'm hoping to be a part of keeping them in business for a very long time, which they seem to be pretty confident that they're going to be great. So that gives me confidence too. And with that, I'm going to say my 9th goodbye. I love you. We are stronger than I. Back at it, manana.